You have a session here at the conference is titled Taming the Object Graph. What is the object graph?
So I think a lot of people have a basis for the social network and the basis for what Facebook used to be, which is a bunch of people and connections between people. So I call that sort of a social graph or a people graph.
Right.
The object graph is really extension beyond just people. So locations or pages or music, and these objects and the connections between them and connections to people.
So how did work in other areas of Facebook shape your work on the object graph?
Mm-hmm.
Did it inform it?
Yeah, I mean, I guess, that we really need to have, we don't have that many engineers. It seems like a big company, but we have 1 billion monthly active users. We need to make sure that we're making a lot of impact per engineer. So generally what that means is working with all the different product teams that are using structured data and object data and making sure that, we're driving in the right direction to support the products that they're shipping.
Is there any one technique that can be used to manage a data set, or is the best approach to combine techniques, things like machine learning, crowdsourcing?
Right. I think, and you'll see in my talk later that it's really good to have a combination of many techniques. Crowdsourcing, machine learning, the two that you mentioned are very good, and using them in tandem is really beneficial. So sometimes there are problems that machine learning can't solve, that you really need to have humans looking at, and crowdsourcers or sending it off to maybe Mechanical Turk or something like that is a great option in that regard. On the other side, machine learning can really do a lot of simple or even complex calculations, so you can do a lot of work without having to use a lot of user time.
When you're going into a circumstance though of trying to manage a data set, do you look at the breadth of it and try to understand I'm going to need machine learning, I'm going to need crowdsourcing, or do those things manifest as you're doing it?
And generally, we try to use a hybrid approach. We try to use all of the tools in our toolkit to really solve these problems. So you really want to use crowdsourcing to really get at the head of the problem. So the data that a lot of people are using, to try to clean that up as much as possible. And then you want to try to use machine learning to clean up the tail, things that people might interact with only once or twice, and so you don't have as much data that are coming in from users to improve that data set.
So last question, and expanding this a little bit, what are the data sets that are catching your attention these days? I mean, what are you watching?
Yeah, right. I mean, I guess, it's not so much any particular data set, it's really sort of a meta data set of music and places people are checking into and, things people are interacting with that coming together and having the connectedness between a large set of data sets. And I think, Facebook's doing this really really well with the custom open graph, where any platform partner can publish a new node type into our graph and create a new, essentially, type of node and connections between that. And I think the hybrid of all of the custom open graph plus all of the new data sets that Facebook has to offer mixed together can really create the greatest experience. And that's something that as it grows, I'm really excited about the way that's going.
Sort of an Uber data set.
Exactly, yeah, right.
Well, thanks for being with us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.